Hello, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to go through a Star Wars Legion battle report, our first one. So let's see how this goes. I went down to Warbor in Bromley and decided to play a game against my mate John. He had brought his Rebels, I brought mine, so we had a bit of a Rebel off. I had the new Han Solo expansion and some commandos. The rest of our forces are pretty much made up from 2 starter kits at this point, so we're only really able to scrape together about 750 points each. So here's my list. I had Han Solo with improvised orders, duck and cover and targeting scopes because I'm special. They didn't do anything, funnily enough, because he can only roll 2 dice when shooting anyway, so that was wasted. Rebel troopers with the Z6 Gatling gun and an extra trooper. I've got 3 units of that. A bog standard, just some troopers with an extra dude in there. I've got my unit of rebel commandos, so I put the proton charge saboteur and duck and cover and concussion grenades on them. Makes them quite pricey, but I figure it gives them quite a versatile role on the battlefield and a bit more durability with the duck and cover. I've got a strike team just with a sniper, just wanted to try it out. An ATRT long range comlink with the Gatling gun, rotary blaster, and another one with the long range comlink and the laser cannon. As you can tell, I made the choice in this list not to bring Luke. I just wanted to try Han out by himself, and no real anti-armor to speak of apart from the laser cannon and the ATRT. I was hoping that, along with the other ATRT's ability to get crit strikes on their surges, would help me, as well as the proton charge saboteur. The proton charges that the commandos pop out also have impact 1. We'll see how that goes. John's brought the fairly standard 2 core sets list. We were originally going to do 700 points, but we looked at it and he said that after pimping out we could get to 750. I've tried to recreate his list and I can't really see where the last few points came from, but hey ho, I had some targeting scopes in there that did nothing anyway, so we're about 740 in reality. It's got Luke with force reflexes, battle meditation and targeting scopes, I think. 2 units of rebel troopers with the ion trooper, rebel trooper, targeting scopes and concussion grenades. 2 of the same units just with the Z6. And then his ATRT loadouts are exactly the same as mine. We were having a gaming day and I was just really looking forward to getting my guys out. I'd got some paint on Han, as you can see here, but my commandos sadly were just grey. So we've got blue squad, red squad and purple squad here, and then just unpainted yellow squad down here. So going through our setup, we settled on playing breakthrough, so we get points for units in the enemy's deployment zone at the end of the game, fairly standard battle lines and some limited visibility. John was able to, as you'll see, make much better use of that than I was. So here's our deployment. John's gone for a very symmetrical split deployment. He's got ion troopers and Z6 troopers, and this one is his laser cannon ATRT, if I remember correctly, and then again the same 2 squads over here with his rotary blaster along with Luke. I've just sort of given up on the left flank, put something to keep him busy, so our bog standard yellow squad here with no special weapons. I think this is blue squad here. I've got my sniper team in the middle, hoping to put down some suppression on whatever comes through here. Another squad of troopers here. I've got my Gatling cannon ATRT. I've got my laser cannon ATRT. I've got Han is here, I think. We've got our commandos out here on the far right and another squad out here. So first turn, I'd gone for standing orders. I didn't really care what happened in this first turn because of the limited visibility, and I just wanted that flexibility later in the game. John has gone for assault, and with assault he was able to put orders on Luke and the 2 walkers, which meant the only thing he had in his bag were troops, which gave him quite a bit of control. I just gave an order to the snipers team because they were the only ones that I wanted to wait to see if he brought anything up. So this is John's first activation. He brought up some troops here out of cover. So, very first draw of the game, I managed to pull Han Solo's token, but I used his improvised orders ability to redraw and pulled out some troops, which I was a lot happier with, and just pushed these guys up here behind this building over on this side. He's moved something up. I've moved this guy around here. Let's move some troops up. Being fairly cautious. And he's moved the walker up. I think I might have gotten a couple of those activations out of sequence. So I then activate this unit here, trying to shoot at the AT-RT up here, and this is what I roll. Diddly squat, which was somewhat disappointing. He's moved up his troop here to sort of take control of the middle of the battlefield. I've moved up my purple squad over here on the right flank, hoping to sort of hunker down here and put some pressure on his squads. He moves up his laser cannon, and it turns out that range 2 is a lot longer than I thought it was, and is able to get a shot off at my walker, who I stupidly put an aim token on. Can't remember why I did that. There are many mistakes I made in this battle. Yeah, he gets a couple of crits off, so that's a couple of wounds already on my walker that I thought was safe on this first turn. So that was nice. At this point I've moved these guys up, and I've also just dropped a charge here just in case to sort of help the defensive position. His squad here moves up, and again range 2 is closer than I think, and he actually manages to get a couple of wounds off on my walker. So that was fun, including his ion trooper. And I'm on 1 wound left. I'm damaged, which means I'm most likely only getting 1 action, and I've got an ion token, which means I'm not doing anything next turn, so I've just given away my only anti-armor really cheaply. This guy goes, my Gatling cannon opens up on his, and I only really get 1 wound off on. Yeah, no, so this one here, this is the roll from, you can't see it here, but I've activated my red squad. He's moved Luke up to here, and my red squad is down here at the bottom of the screen. You can't see, but they had a fairly clean line of sight into here. I moved them so they could shoot, and did 1 wound to Luke. I finally activate Han, who goes and takes a couple of pot shots at these 2 units. He gets to shoot twice, because why not? But as I realised throughout this game, he's not particularly good at taking out enemy armour. And even though he reduced these guys' cover by 1, I only got 1 hit, so the light cover got rid of that. And here we go, this is the state of play at the end of the first turn. Second turn, I've gone for push. Just trying to get early. I didn't want to use any of my really good cards just yet, and he's gone for Son of Skywalker, and you'll see why in a second, for some really aggressive early turn stuff. Because what he does is he goes early with Luke, walks, and then charges my walker, gets a few hits off. I get no defense against it. I don't manage to defend enough. And in his 2 swings that he gets with Son of Skywalker, to the absolute dismay of Red Squad and Han, this walker is gone. So, start of turn 2, this guy is basically out of the game, and the other walker is gone. So that's almost 200 points of my army that I've just thrown his way. Going to be an uphill battle, guys. These guys activate, purple squad on this side, and they just open fire, let rip into these guys, give them a bit of suppression, and cut the squad down quite mercilessly. There we go, slightly better picture of that. And I go for a dodge token as well, just for the incoming fire. I activate these guys and take a shot at his squad here. These guys have activated, moved up, not done a whole lot. These guys have activated, tried to do something into there, but not really able to do much at this point. I think this squad has activated and just ripped these guys to shreds. Han activates. Yeah, they've poked out and shot. Han activates, puts a couple of wounds onto Luke. He's not able to defend them, and not a lot to these guys. Maybe popped one of them. So Luke is on half wounds at this point. At this point, his walker over on his right, my left flank, comes up and does some damage to these troopers here. Not as bad as it could have been, but there we go. Pick up a suppression for my troubles. Yep, I activate them. Basically, they've shot here, taken one off, they've shot back, done a bit of damage as well. Over on this side, this unit finally goes and takes that squad out and dodges up again. Over on this side, these guys come round the building and take out one of my troopers, of my poor little Forlorn Hope yellows. Over on this flank, this poor little survivor's picked up some more suppression. His walker's activated, and I'm fairly sure he blasted away my last ATRT. So here's the state of things. I've got a couple of squads here on this flank. I've got Han facing down a squad, an ATRT and Luke. This guy sort of shuffled away best he could. These guys haven't actually managed much. I've got these guys playing peekaboo around some buildings with this squad, and again one lone squad. So I've gone from having a very weak flank on this side and trying to flood this one to a very precarious looking flank here and a very, very precarious looking flank here. So end of turn 2, still things looking fairly bad. So I decide not to muck around going into turn 3, and I play Han's 0 initiative, taking John off guard because he'd put in his ambush, probably hoping to go early with Luke and take Han out. But as we all know, Han shoots first. So he goes, he gets his aim and a dodge token. He shoots, crit and a hit on Luke, who saves one of them, I think, so he's now only got 2 wounds left, and we do a couple of wounds to this unit as well. So not too bad, and I don't actually think I had to use his aim token in either one of those. I got double hits in both cases, but he's still got the dodge token on. So I'm hoping he should be able to survive, but I had a feeling that I was going to take a Luke to the face. So because of that, I just walk away. So what he does instead, he goes with Luke, and instead of going after my Han, who is now just out of range for the walk hit, he just goes after my sniper team, and I didn't see that one coming. Fair play, and just absolutely annihilates them before they're able to do anything at all. I decide to retaliate with this yellow squad over here, who I'm hoping are actually going to win the battle here. His other troops come round the wall here and take out the poor lonely survivor of Red Squad. I push up with my troops over on this flank, try and take another couple of wounds out here. I'm basically hoping to roll some crits on 10 dice, but just not, it's not to be. Got some guys opening up here with some Gatling cannon fun on the remnants of my blue squad, and yep, they're gone. They're goners. These guys open up, moving up, trying to do some damage to this guy, but it's just not happening. The remnants of his squad over on my left flank, still returning fire here. I think I had some cover, which is what saves me a bit, but he's rolling really well. Another couple of guys die. He turns with this guy and shoots into my squad, but I managed to block like an absolute champion and don't lose a single guy. So this is the state of play at the end of the turn. So this flank is looking, up here is looking not as bad, but I've still got Luke marauding down here. The remnants of this squad, I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to take them out. And I've got 2 lone guys facing down 2 squads and a walker on my left flank. So here we go, this turn again I figure I need something to go early for me, so I've gone for Ambush. He's gone for his Return of the Jedi. I think that's the one where he gets a load of dodge tokens by using it. Right, over on this side, Han goes. Keeps trying to... I give my order to Han. He's put an order on to Luke, who's got his dodge token built in. I think Han goes and is able to clear off this unit here. And again, I think he fails to put any wounds on Luke. He goes with, I think, the Walker, who just obliterates my remaining 2 dudes here. Over on this side, I continue my battle with the Walker, and it's just not going my way. I open fire with these guys. I managed to pick up 1 crit, so he's taken 2 wounds at this point. He hasn't done a whole lot. Yes, that's an Imperial Order token. I think he had a missing Rebel token. My commandos have placed a Proton Charge down there. So when he activates this guy, he takes a wound from the Proton Charge that I set off, but he does do quite a bit of damage to this squad over on this side. Luke charges into Han. He actually doesn't get a brilliant roll on this one, and with my rerolls, etc., I only take 1 wound. So here we are, our shot at the end of the turn. I've skipped a couple of activations here, but he's basically now just pushing forward with his squads on this side, getting them into my deployment zone. We've got our fight between the 2 commanders over on this side, and my 2 squads trying to whittle down this Walker over here. So we've both gone for a 2 initiative bid. He's able to go with his shooter first, and I'm down to 1 guy in this squad. I'm able to go with Han first, and actually don't. I try and pistol whip Luke, but I'm not able to, and I take a dodge. He's just moving some squads down here into my deployment zone. Up here, I've just moved this lone guy into cover, hoping he'll survive and score me a point at the end of the game. Again, he's just making sure his squads are moving down into my deployment zone. My commandos plant a demolition charge and move up. He attacks with Luke, and actually Han is still surviving with 1 wound left. And this is the state of play. So this is where I played Change of Plans, because he still had a level 2 or 3 card to throw at me. So I've played Change of Plans, which enabled me to get the initiative. I activate Han first. He rolls his 3 white dice. I get 3 hits on Luke, who dies. Yes! Han Solo pistol whipped that upstart to death. Over on this side, he activates his Walker, and he takes a couple of wounds because I detonate the bomb, so he takes that for his troubles, but he's able to take out my last little dude. My commandos activate and are actually able to take him out finally. This squad that John had down here activate and are able to take out, despite him going down to hard cover by using his ability to gain a suppression token, which gives him light cover, which with his ability on his card gives him hard cover, but against 4 hits he tries his very, very bestest, even with rerolls, and it ends with that 1 wound that was needed going through to take out Han. And I think this is the end of play at this point. He's going to shift this one down here. And the points are 1, 2, 3 for him, and ignore this guy. That's where my lone commander would have been. And I get the 1 point for this unit. So that is a 3-1 win to John. I have to say, it's been a while since we dug out our Legion, and we both thoroughly enjoyed the game. We'll have to try and get some more of these out there. I hope you enjoyed this, but I'll see you next time.